What's good, guys? So I was sitting around, I was kind of bored, and I didn't know what to talk about, and I was staring at this guitar, and I thought I would talk about it today. This insane looking thing is my first guitar. This is a BC Rich Bronze Series Mockingbird. It's a little crazy. I guess I have unique taste. I got this thing probably when I was like 15 in high school, had like zero music taste. If it didn't sound like Slipknot, I didn't care about it. Before I got it, I spent a lot of time like browsing music stores, just checking out different guitars. And I was always really drawn to the more unique shaped guitars. And the salesperson was like trying to like talk me out of them and like was directing me towards like the Squier Strats, telling me that like nowadays players are moving away from the crazy shaped guitars and they're more interested in the more generic looks. And I'm like, I don't care what other people are interested in. I care what I'm interested in. I want a crazy looking guitar. Pretty soon after acquiring this guy, I was on eBay nabbing some EMG pickups. So I had EMGs in this thing for a little while, and the thing was just like insane. I think I had it like drop tuned like, I don't even know how low. I had like these super thick like Zakk Wylde GHS strings that were like, I think the lowest E was like a 0.7, if I have that right. Like super insanely thick strings on this thing. I think back in the day, I was like trying to come up with like the most heavy, the most guitar tone I could, and I had like two guitar pedals. I had a DoD Grunge. I think that was the first pedal I ever got. And then because that wasn't nearly enough overdrive, I got a DoD Death Metal. And I took both of them and daisy chained them together with like all the knobs totally cranked into my little Marshall practice amp with the gain cranked on that as well, and just like strummed. And the sound was just like absolute hiss and static. I didn't realize back then that like, you know, heaviness comes from more from how you play, you know, with your hands than it does with the gear that you're using. But you know, you live and you learn. At the time, I thought this thing played pretty well. And to be honest, like even still, like it plays all right. It doesn't feel too bad. Here, I'll show you a close up of the neck. So while it does feel like a 2x4 bolted to a piece of plywood, I kind of like that. I like the simplicity of it. Kind of makes it fun to play in a way. So I'm pretty happy that I chose the guitar that I really wanted versus the guitar that other people wanted me to have, because it really just made playing the guitar fun and just, I think, really helped me to become the player that I am today. Although I do have to admit, I eventually did succumb to giving in to playing the guitar that other people wanted, because a few years later I did get a Squier Strat, and the reason why was because all the bands that I was in that were like actually gigging were like alternative rock bands, or it was like the band from church, and so I just felt too insecure playing such a wild like metal guitar in those bands, and so I did pick up a Squier Strat. Although I like hated the thing. It was terrible. Like the frets stuck out from the neck. The neck was so thin. The pickups were so weak. It was just like, I just always hated playing that guitar, but I just would play it for gigs because I just felt like it was more appropriate, you know, for the vibe of the band. Actually, I still have the Squier Strat. Check this thing out. This is that Squier Strat today. I had like painted the pickguard black. These pickups I hand painted like lime green. This is the Squier Strat that I was supposed to buy. And here's my BC Rich guitar. And you can see which one withstood the test of time. I don't know if I'll ever get rid of this guitar. I mean, it's still fun to play and it's like really nostalgic. It reminds me of the times of staying up late reading Guitar World magazine and having debates at the lunch table at school about you know, who's better, Pantera or Slayer? Anyways, the moral of the story is choose a guitar that you want to play, because that's gonna be the best way to stay excited about the instrument and to keep learning and to keep playing. Okay, that's all I got for you. Be sure to like, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until then, see you later. A little choppy, but whatever. It sounds fun. This guitar is so fun to play.